Hey guys, what's going on? Rick with Rick's Toy Room, and as you can tell from both the t-shirt and the thumbnail, this is a Mortal Kombat / convention video. I'm gonna first start this off with saying the Mortal Kombat crew and TC Carson were amazing. So Dusty and I decided today we were gonna go to the National Gaming Expo, and this was the first show they've done ever. And to be completely honest, this was a waste. For Dusty, this was a waste of time. We got there, so we heard about the show a couple weeks ago, probably a month ago now. And I've been telling a bunch of people, hey, don't forget about the show. Like I was talking about it in Tampa. Nobody heard of it. Nobody knew what the hell it was. No one knew what was going on. The sponsored social media ads that this Joker did nothing for this dude. You go to the website, you go to Instagram, they're like, oh, we're expecting 30,000 people. How? This is your first show. You've never done one before. There's just no, there's no talk to it, right? No one knows who you are, what the fuck this is. But, we're going to give it a try. So I saw the guest list originally was going to have Jeff Spitzer, who is the voice of the multiplayer guy for Halo. So double kill, triple kill, Kilimanjaro. That guy was supposed to be here. So me and Dusty were like, okay, well, we're definitely going to go see him. Dusty was going to get his Halo 2 signed because at this point it's pretty much covered in all of the voice actors for Halo and Halo 2. I was like, I'll get my helmet signed. And then the original cast of Mortal Kombat 2 were going to be there. So I'm like, okay, I've got to go meet these guys. I mean, I loved that game as a kid. It was like one of the biggest games we played in Iceland, like going to the show. And then I saw TC Carson. I'm like, well, he's the original Kratos. I beat the hell out of the original PS1, 2, 3, and PSP God of Wars. And I already have Judge signed my PS5 God of War. I'm like, I'm going to go meet TC Carson while I'm there too. So originally I was like, I'm not going to do a whole, I was like, it's kind of him and hawing about how many autographs I want to do. But I was like, you know what? This is one of those times where it's just going to be hopefully it's going to be a big gaming con. I was like, worst case scenario, we'll go there, spend, an hour or so in line getting autographs, and then we'll shop for some video games. I was like, this will definitely be the perfect place to get, a vintage Xbox that we can mod and play Halo 1 and Halo 2 on custom servers. So we're like, okay, there's reasons for us to go. Like, we can make this work. So the con opened today at 11. It started yesterday on Friday, and it was going from noon to 5 or some nonsense. And apparently they did the Mortal Kombat 2 cast reunion panel at 2 o'clock on a Friday. Now again, this is not a San Diego Comic-Con. This is not a Tampa Bay. This is not Fanboy. This is not Fan Expo. This is a new con. How the fuck do you think you were going to get enough people to show up on a Friday to leave work? Most people didn't even know it was happening. I'd watched yesterday from The Office some of the people that were guest announcement that was going to be there, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And I was watching their setup, and I'm like, there's nobody in the background. These guys were like, hey, come out to the con. There's nobody on the show floor. It was just an empty arena, and I'm like, that doesn't look good. So talked to Dusty last night. We're like, look, we still want to get Jeff Spitzer. I still want the Mortal Kombat guys. We're still going to go. It's going to be a little expensive. It's $40 a ticket, plus parking, plus autographs and all the things. I was like, but we're going to go. So I get up and said, look, let's leave at 10. We'll get there by 11. I'm thinking the show is opening at 9 or 10. The show doesn't even open till 11. Which, okay, so now we're going to be there pretty early. I didn't really want to sit in the outdoor line because the Tampa Fairgrounds, to get into the expo center, they have all the lines outside, and then you got to work your way into the building. But we get there. I mean, the line was maybe 30 people deep, maybe. And I was like, all right, this isn't terrible. By the time we got there, it was 11:15. And we walked in, and the look on both of our faces and the faces of the people that were exhibiting there, dude. So, and I've got some photos I'm going to post here of what the show floor looked like. Look at this shit. This is insane. Just disappointing, disgusting, an embarrassment to expos and conventions. Most of the people that walked in pretty much either ran directly to the Mortal Kombat group or went right to Red Dead Redemption. The 30 people that were in the event hall, that was the only 2 spots they were in because that's the only 2 spots people were at. The new Peach voice, the new Bowser voice, both bailed out. They said, we're not doing the show, no way in hell. Jeff Spitzer bailed out. Couldn't find TC Carson. Bam Margera was nowhere to be found. It was literally like, we thought it was a joke. We thought we were in the wrong area. So we walk around the floor. We couldn't find Spitzer because we were going to do our Halo stuff first. And after like 3 laps, we're like, we're going to go ask somebody. But for now, I wanted to go meet the Mortal Kombat guys. And they set them up in this... Part of me thinks the layout was kind of shitty, but part of me thinks it was kind of cool. Because what they did was they gave him like this kind of like show floor area. They gave him like this big area where they're allowed to put up a background banner. And that's where they're doing the group photos at. And it looked like one of the Mortal Kombat stages. And I'll post that up here in a second. Then they had a little green screen set up so that you could do and film Test Your Might. So they put you into the game and you could do Test Your Might. That was really cool. And then they had like basically a bunch of like picnic tables, little 8-foot tables, just all lined up together. And then all the Mortal Kombat characters had like 8x10 set out of like them with the game, maybe in costume, like one of their game imposed images on some backgrounds. Like they all had some really cool ones. They actually had their own translate that had Mortal Kombat 2, like a combo translate, which were really cool for the marquees. Then they had just a bunch of other stuff, and so I was like, all right, cool. Everybody was just kind of like huddled up, chilling, talking. A couple customers were already there. So I roll up, and I've got my marquee. Now, this is an original marquee for Mortal Kombat 2. And the reason I chose this one was because, and you can tell, like, this was in front of, like, the old lights because, you know, the heat from the actual incandescent bulbs actually caused the plastic to discolor. And I was like, dude, I got this online, and you can actually tell it's also one of the originals because you can see where, like, there's wear lines from the marquee holder. So definitely an original. So I walk up, I put it on the table, and Daniel Pacino was like, hey, what's going on, buddy? And he saw me, Ho-Sung Pak saw me, and then like their manager, their agent, and he was dressed up like this really wild, like Mortal Kombat or like cartoon suit. I couldn't tell. He's like, what do you need to do? And I'm like, hey, man. I was like, I want to get everybody here. I want to get their autograph. Now, originally there were supposed to be 7 characters there. Sonya Blade did not appear, or maybe she just bailed. I don't know. I didn't ask. I was too excited. I was like, I want to do everybody's autograph. And then I saw the background. I was like, I want to do a group photo. I was like, so what's this going to cost me? And I'm thinking it was like $60 per person. I'm like, I'll pay for the autographs in cash. I'll do the group photo and a credit card. And Daniel's like, well, it's we got a combo deal going. It's $300 for the group photo and everybody's autograph. And I'm like, I thought it was like $360 just for the autographs. It's like $300 sold, just wad of 20s. I'm like, who do I pay? Homeboy's like, got you, boo-boo. Now, if you don't know, Daniel Pacino actually was the original. He was in Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2. He played Johnny Cage, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Reptile, Smoke. So he played those 5. His brother Carlos played Raiden. And then Ho-Sung Pak, who was Liu Kang. Kung Lao, I forget his name. Leah Monte, I'm going to fuck her name up. Leah and then Rich were Shao Kahn for Mortal Kombat 2 and then Sindel for Mortal Kombat 3. Now, I know it's an MK2 cover, but I was like, I'm just going to get everybody's autograph. Screw it. So, really cool because Carlos actually, he sketches Raiden. So, he did a remark of Raiden on there. And then Daniel actually makes sure that everyone gets their own COA. This was number 888. And Carlos did another sketch for me of Raiden. So, that was really, really cool. So, we start shooting the shit. You know, we're all talking. And me and Daniel were just like talking about all the behind the scenes things, and I'm like, hey man, I really like, I had to work all day yesterday, I couldn't come to the panel. I was like, I have so many questions. He's like, ask. So he's telling me all this behind the scenes stuff, how they came up with like the using the stairs to film the like kicks to give everyone their own exclusive style of kick. And he was telling me like how they used a really bad camera and like the overhead lights and like the green screen effect was really hard for them, and that Mortal Kombat was essentially the first time for that live action mocap where they were doing such intricate work and fights that like all of it was new, so all of it was super hard. So he was really cool to talk to. Like, loved talking to Daniel. He just had so much to talk about and say. Hosung Pak came out and he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this group photo. Let's get everybody in here. Let's do this. Let's do this. And like he was super hype. And he was asking, he's like, so where are you guys from? I'm like, well, Michigan originally, moved down here. He's like, oh man, he's like, I lived in Chicago forever. That's how I met these guys and got into it. Now I'm in LA shooting all these movies, and tell me about some of the work he's done. So we were talking about, Giordano's Pizza, and they were really cool. Leo was really cool to talk to. Rich was kind of busy with some other people, so I didn't get a chance to talk to him. And then, so we get that done. We get all these autographs. We get the photo. And Hossein Pak's like, oh, who's your favorite character? I'm like, honestly, Sub-Zero was my dude. He was blue. He had moves like Ryu. He's like, yeah, it's cool. Hold on, we get Daniel over here. So they took a bunch of selfies with me and Daniel. And then they did selfies with me and Dusty. So that was really cool. Like, Dusty got some selfies with Johnny Cage. Just really cool guys. Like, they made the experience worth my $40. Okay? Like, if they were not there to see, and same thing with TC. So me and TC, I was asking him, so here's my photo with TC. And then I'll post up my selfie I got with him. TC was really cool. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, the show's kind of a bust. I was like, how was Friday? And he's like, dude, it was worse than this. And that's hard to imagine because today, there were no more than 30 people on the show floor. We actually heard a vendor yell at the guy running the show and was like, dude, if you don't get some more people in here and we don't start making money, we're leaving right now. And this is 15 minutes after the show started. So yeah, I'm jumping back and forth a little bit. Mortal Kombat guys, super cool. We do the autographs, we do the selfies. We're walking around. We can't find Spitzer. So we're like, all right. Like I said, I went and met TC. He was really cool. And we're leaving. I'm like, let's just go ask these fuckers what's going on. I was like, hey man, like, we're looking for Jeff Spitzer. Like, is he showing up later? They're like, oh, he was one of the guys that canceled last minute. It's Saturday. You couldn't post this on your Facebook? The guy running National Gaming Expo, and I've ran a small show myself, so I know that getting promotions out there can be difficult. This guy's a fucking clown, all right? Like, he didn't post any photos of the show floor because he didn't get any vendors. This fool, like, I went to the site to see what he was charging. 10 by 10 table, $120 per foot. Minimum, you had to pay, it was a $120 per square foot, and it was a minimum of 10 by 10. This fool wanted $1,200 a table to set up for a show no one's heard of, that's not been promoted, that has no background. There's no fucking way people are going to pay for that. None. So we go through the show, and like the show floor is just a joke. And the guy's like, oh, we last minute canceled. We're like, you didn't post on Facebook that he canceled. You didn't post on Facebook that Princess Peach canceled. You didn't post on the Facebook that the guy doing Bowser canceled. There's a couple dudes from Breaking Bad that showed up last minute today. They had TC Carson in between two bullshit vendors, like an insurance company and like some guy trying to sell his energy drink. And we're like, you can't even see him. So he was a little pissed off. And we're like, dude, we get it. Because everyone else bounced, they moved TC next to the Mortal Kombat guys, which is cool. They gave him a nice big open spot so everyone could see him finally. But yeah, the show was a complete fucking bust. And again, Dusty wanted to get Jeff's autograph. I wanted Jeff's autograph. Dusty's like, if I'd have known on Facebook that Jeff wasn't there, he's like, I wouldn't have went. He's like, the Mortal Kombat guys were cool, but it's not my game. Like, it was before my time. So Dusty's like, I'm getting my money back. I was like, dude, call Chase right fucking now. You just bought the tickets. They're refusing to give you a refund because they refuse to fucking announce that they fucked the show up. Call Chase and ask for a refund. So he put in a dispute with the charge because honestly, that's garbage. Like, this guy running the show was pulling a bait and switch. He refused to update anything on Facebook. He's been nowhere to be seen. His Facebook reviews of this convention have been blasted now by 4 people, including myself, just today. Like, the show was a complete disaster. But again, for me, it was worth it to meet the guys from Mortal Kombat. I went to my arcade group on Discord that we buy, sell, trade, and repair and talk arcade games and pinballs. Come to find out, most of the Mortal Kombat guys actually come to Free Play Florida. So next time Free Play's in town, and next time, well, Free Play's always in Orlando, but next time Free Play happens, if the MK guy's going, I'm going again. Like, I'm getting some more autographs. I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to put another MK2 in the house because not the first time I've owned an MK2. It won't be the last. But, yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for those guys, the show, I would have been asking for a refund. They charge us $10 at the door, $10 to park, $40 at the door for the ticket, and outside of the MK guys, there was nothing for me to do. I was in and out in less than 45 minutes. Now, get the autographs, we get back to the car, I'm looking at it, I take a quick photo to post on Facebook, and I realize I didn't get Daniel's autograph. So I got Carlos Pacina, but not Daniel's. I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. And then I sat, like, me and Dusty are like, well, let's go find something to do. We went and got cigars, and the more that I was sitting there getting cigars, I'm like, dude, no, I paid for, not only, it wasn't even the fact that I paid for it, but it's like, I don't have my guy. I don't have Sub-Zero's autograph. I don't have, we took cool photos with Johnny Cage. I don't have Johnny Cage's autograph. I'm like, we're going back. So we go back, and I'm like, look, I had my little tag showing that we just got there, and we just got Saturday tickets. She's like, you have to pay for parking again. I'm like, all right, fine, here's my parking. By this time, me and Dusty had already been clowning this show the entire way to Tabanero Cigars. The entire time at Tabanero, we'd ripped our bracelets off. And they were kind of being assholes about letting people in at the beginning of the show. And I'm like, dude, Dusty's like, we got any tape? We'll just tape it. And then I was like, I ain't got no tape. And I was like, well, I got mine folded. I had enough room where I could like wrap it around, fold it. And I kind of rolled it. And it held for a minute, but if I moved too fast, it'd fall apart. Dusty's like, mine can't fold. I was like, he's like, you got any tape? I'm like, no. I was like, use your gum. He's like, what? So we're sitting there, we're chewing gum. Take the gum out, grab the wristbands. We stick the gum on the wristbands. We squeeze them back together. Glue it with gum. We got the wristbands back on our wrist. I'm like, all right, cool. We're not going to pay again. We're not going to fight with people. We're just going to walk in. Here's our wristbands. Because we've already paid $40. And I forgot one of my autographs. So we get back in. Now, in the meantime, I'm sitting at Tabanero, and I'm like, dude, you know these guys are thinking this thing's a joke. Like, this is just a complete bust. They're never going to come back and do shows like this again. So I was like, let me grab some t-shirts. So I bought everybody Tabanero's t-shirts. I bought 6 t-shirts. Tabanero's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, long story, but I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling happy. Just give me some t-shirts. I'm going to go gift them some people. So we get back into the convention, and I'm like, oh, dude, I was like, is Daniel gone? And Carlos is like, nah, man, he just went to get some lunch. He's like, you're back. And I'm like, yeah. It's like, me and Daniel were shooting the shit. I forgot to get his autograph. He's like, he's got you. Don't worry about it. So I was like, well, hey, listen, by the way, I was like, I got you guys a gift for putting up with this bullshit. And he's like, what? I was like, check it out. And I handed him this t-shirt, and on the back, it's got a chicken smoking a cigar. And he's like, the fuck? And he flips it over. It says Tampa's Best Cigars. He's like, you guys know I smoke cigars? I'm like, we didn't know you smoke cigars. We smoke cigars. So me and Carlos and Dusty had this long conversation about like some of our favorite sticks, which ones we like to smoke the best. Carlos is actually a big Detloff guy. He loves Detloff cigars. So we were talking about that. We were talking about Room 101 and how we felt that the cigar brands kind of dropped since Arturo, I think it's Arturo, bought them out. Or Cigar International bought out Room 101, sorry. So we were talking about that, shooting the breeze. And yeah, so we spent like 20 minutes talking cigars with Carlos, and that was awesome. And then all the guys were coming by like, what's this shirt? I was like, here's your t-shirt. So gave one to Kung Lao and gave one to Rich and gave one to Leah. And when Daniel came back, I was like, hey, I forgot your autograph. He's like, yeah, I realized that after you left. So he writes, Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, Smoke, get over here, Daniel. And because apparently he really loved playing Scorpion. So really cool. And then I gave him his shirt. He's like, oh, that's cool. And Kung Lao was like, what the hell's with the chicken? And I was like, all right, so here's the story. So we tell Kung Lao how basically, Ybor is cigar capital of the U.S. and how when all the, immigrants came over doing all the cigars, they brought the chickens, and now the chicken's a protected species, so you can't, you can just walk down Ybor and see chickens. And he was cracking the fuck up. He's like, dude, I never knew this about this area. I'm like, if you get bored 10 minutes down the road, go have a cigar, hit all the bars, it's going to be a great time. So we gave the guys, Tabanero cigar t-shirts, thanked them for being here. Daniel hooked me up with my autograph. And then we took off, and we were cracking the fuck up the whole way, because not only did we find out Carlos Pacina is a huge cigar smoker fan. He loves having a stick after Sunday morning breakfast. But just getting to talk to those guys and just tell them this weird story and give them a weird chicken shirt, who knows, maybe we'll see a video of these guys and they'll talk about the time they came to a really shitty convention and got a free chicken shirt. I don't know. But yeah, so fun time with the Mortal Kombat guys. I cannot wait to see them again. Hopefully I'll get to see them at Free Play and actually get to do a convention with them and get to do a panel. But otherwise, I've got to work on getting my MK2 so I can get this put up and do the background. There's your boy Daniels. There is Richie. He did Shao Kahn. Again, you've got Ho Sung Pak, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Sindel, and then Raiden, Mr. Carlos Pacino himself. I'm super stoked, and then it's really cool. Like I said, I showed you this already, but Marshall, Master Pacino, where what you master is yourself. All the official seals. This is going to get framed, sealed up. I almost want to submit that to CGC and be like, hey, that's a Daniel Pacino remark, like hook that up, but I'm not going to. But yeah, guys, so that's the scoop. National Gaming Expo actually has, I think, 5 other events scheduled around the country. I really hope this guy learns from this. I hope he spends some money to get a promoter. I cannot wait to see and find more hashtags National Gaming Expo. I want to see other people's reviews. I can't wait to see the other amount of people that want a refund from this, because this was a joke. I mean, we got there and I was like, wow, there are a ton of cars here. Brick Masters or some shit. There's a big Lego convention happening on the other side of the expo center. And a lot of those idiots were in the line for the gaming one. And, this was bad. Like I said, this was a disgrace to shows. I thought the Florida Toy Show ran by the one guy from Michigan was bad because, I mean, that show at least had a lot of vendors. Like, tons of vendors, tons of tables, plenty of stuff to look at and shop for, even though I wasn't making money. They had no foot traffic. This place had no vendors, no foot traffic, and half the people bounced. Like, what a fucking joke. So, I don't know. But shout out to my guys from the Mortal Kombat. If you are of my age group, then definitely go check out and follow Carlos Pacino, Daniel Pacino, follow Ho Sung Pak, follow all the guys. Like, go out there and hunt these dudes down. Get on Instagram, get on Facebook, and just give them a follow and see what else they're doing, because these guys are awesome. I mean, they made the trip today. I'm not going to talk about the amount of money I spent, because that's just, I'm going to pretend it never happened. But I'm going to absolutely enjoy this marquee and find a way to do a light box for it until I get the machine up and go from there. So, all right, guys, as always, like, subscribe, follow. Hopefully that was a funny story, or at least you'll know to stay the hell away from National Gaming Expo, because unless this dude gets his shit together, I can see them going bankrupt before they even get to the next 3 shows. Just my opinion. Later.